Hello, Chunky, live from Las Vegas. This is the Voice of Reason here in Sin City at the New York Hotel, which has just opened a brand new show called Mad Apple. That is by Cirque du Soleil, and unfortunately it is not to Cirque du Soleil's standard. The sound is distinctly average, inaudible at times. Some of the acts are ropey, and it's about 30, 40, maybe even 50 minutes too long. It feels to me like this has been rushed out, almost as if they had a government grant during COVID to get a lot of very diverse people to be part of a new show that is noisy on the one extreme and confusing on the other. You're left asking yourself the question, why would I go to see Mad Apple when there's so many great shows, including 4 by Cirque du Soleil that are much better? Sadly, this is less good than the show it replaced, Humanity, that they closed last year. Why did they do that? We'll discuss next. Hello Mush, welcome to Las Vegas. This is Sin City, the home of, well, the best shows in the world really. It's the entertainment capital of the world. So many great shows, many of which by Cirque du Soleil, which has eaten this town from top to bottom. Whether you start down at Treasure Island with the wonderful Mystere, a great traditional circus show, a very simple show, or you come here to the MGM Grand just across the street. They have a show called Car, which I saw just last week. It is bewildering. You are more confused after it's finished than you are when it starts. It's on another scale. $250 million they put into that. And across the street they've just opened a brand new show called Mad Apple to take the stage of Humanity, which was the sexy side of Cirque. It was a brilliant show that I loved, with a tremendous band and incredible cast. It somehow feels like they're going backwards. They're using old bits from shows like Car, the spinning wheel, which didn't go very well tonight. The man seemed incapable of following the routine and being able to do his act in full. It felt tonight like the cast were tired, I have to admit. They've got 5 or 6 wonderful singers. You can't hear them because of the sound, which is appallingly mixed. They sing to a very noisy band with a lot of drums. I love a drum, you can't beat them. Although at one point I was intending on going across to each of the drummers and taking away one of their sticks and making them the conductor. They were very loud and annoying at times. On the other hand, there's aerialists that we've seen before. There's some very nice special acts. But it all just feels a little sort of taken from the cupboard of leftovers from shows that no longer exist. It feels like we've seen it all before. It's loosely connected to New York, and they try and pretend that this is a New York love story. Well, it does have nods, a bit of Billy Joel here, a bit of sort of rats and cockroaches crawling across the stage at the other. The most impressive thing was the bar at the beginning that then becomes the stage. They struggled to get the wires off tonight, but it's a beautiful feat of engineering that was probably more impressive than the show itself. The room is nice. It is a cabaret style room, but with a cabaret style room you need sound that goes in a circular motion, not just hit from the front. That's the other problem with this show, is the comedians stand at the front of the stage, which means half of the audience behind them just look at their arse, which in fact one of the comedians joked about. It's not a joke if you've paid $100, $200 a ticket to see the back of the artists that are meant to be performing. It's as if they haven't quite worked out that when you're in the round, you have to do the show in the round. I don't know what it is about this show. It just felt very long, very tedious, and everything took about 2 minutes longer than it needed to. There was a British comedian who did a very nice rap thing, but again, did 10 minutes before that didn't get laughs, that just needs cutting out. Somebody needs to go in with a big pair of scissors and sort it out. Maybe I'm the man for the job. I am available, by the way, Cirque du Soleil, at a very extortionate fee. I'm very busy these days. Cirque du Soleil is, well, moving in an interesting direction. It's downscaling. I saw Love down at Mirage. Mirage is going to become a new guitar, apparently going to be knocked down. Let's see what they do with that show. It's the Beatles story. It's a love letter to the Beatles in England. It's tremendous, but it isn't quite on the scale it was when it opened. Last night I went to see MJ1. Again, another love letter to Michael Jackson. Aside from my opinions personally on Michael Jackson, this is possibly the greatest show in the world. The sound, the lights are sensational, the staging, the dancers' energy is incredible, and I think that's what was lacking tonight. I didn't feel the energy. There's cheap jibes in the show to other performers on the strip, which is classless, and that's what it left me feeling a lot of the time through the show. There was no polish, no finesse, and no class. And that was what defined Cirque du Soleil. They were classier than everyone else, everything was better. Now it feels like they're going rappy, they're going well, more diverse. They're going to beats that you wouldn't normally hear in a Cirque du Soleil show. I'd go back to Canada, Montreal, if I were you, and find a little bit of that accordion music. What is this young man doing? Stealing my thing. Oh, very nice lady there with a very strange hair colour. I'm sure she'd be good in a circus. She'd certainly be nice for a party. Big boned girl, I think that would be perfect for Mad Apple. Oh no, they had two of those, didn't they, in Zumanity and sacked them. Two great acts too. I didn't feel any heart in this show, and for me it's a big flop compared to everything else. Listen, is it a horrible show? No, it's not a horrible show. What are these women doing wearing masks outdoors? And they're always the same type of women, aren't they? Yeah, masks outdoors, brainwashed, fucking mental. That's what I didn't like about this show as well. Very lefty. Lots of jokes about Trump and Florida. I think that's a very silly move for Cirque du Soleil. Don't get political, firstly, under any circumstances, and secondly, I would imagine most of the audience who come here to Las Vegas aren't namby-pamby, pinko, liberal, Guardian reading, champagne sipping, oyster eating, BBC watching types. I would imagine they're people up for fun that might actually think that people like Donald Trump had some great ideas, and the notion of wearing a mask indoors or outdoors is utterly preposterous, almost as stupid as the idea that lockdowns might have worked. There you are, that's my thoughts. Listen, it's not a hideous show. It's in Las Vegas, it's not going to be. And the cast turn up on time. It's hosted by a guy called Paul, I believe, who's from England, who's very charming. He does a lovely bit with Disney's Lion King, which I'm amazed they gave the copyright for them to use in the show, to have a little joke about the animals in the Masai Mara. I don't know what to say about this show. I wanted to be impressed. It was going to be more intimate, but it's just a big mess. It needs polishing big time. The lighting needs sorting out. The scene changes need speeding up and correcting, and the acts need to have a lie down in a darkened room and find the energy of MJ1. In this town, you're competing against the greatest shows. There's another new show across the street at Planet Hollywood, a Mystica by Chris Angel, which is leagues above the finesse, the class. But then I say to myself, who was it produced by? Chris and Franco Dragone, who was the man who originated much of Cirque du Soleil and its class. Maybe they should go back to what they did originally, which is to put on great shows that are unique, not copy and paste parodies of previous shows like this is. What a shame for Mad Apple at New York, Las Vegas. I won't be going back. It's not a horrible show, but if you want this kind of thing, it has some filth in it, bad language, potty mouth. If you want that, go and see Absinthe. It's much better. Or Atomic Saloon down the strip. I think that's at Venetian. These are great night outs with great fun. This just feels a bit half-assed, to be honest with you, and certainly a lot of box ticking going on. I think they might have got one of those Biden grants, providing you appease the BLM people.